Greetings. I am William E. Flippin Sr., the pastor of the Greater Piney Grove Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. We've been in the Atlanta area for 105 years, and I have served as the fifth pastor for the last 30 years. Well, thank you for joining us in these I Am series that primarily are in the book of John. Certainly, we were first introduced to the I Am when God revealed himself in the book of Genesis, the 15th chapter. And of course, the one that I am so always excited to talk about is when he revealed himself to Moses on that burning bush when he said, "Tell them, I am sent me." Jesus, even in one place, threw the hypocrites and the Pharisees off in John 8:58 when he said, "Behold, before Abraham was, I am." And they wanted to stone him and cast him aside because he was equating himself with God. But they didn't know what we know, that he is Emmanuel, God with us, wonderful Counselor, the mighty God, the everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. If you have journeyed with us, we have looked at I am the bread of life, I am the light of the world, I am the door, I am the good shepherd, and today we look at I am the resurrection and the life. Now, some people divide these to talk about the resurrection and also the life. But certainly, Jesus said that he and God the Father are one, and the enemies wanted to destroy him, particularly after he raised Lazarus from the dead. I don't know if you know that story in John 11. It says there, my brothers and sisters, that word came to Jesus that his good friend Lazarus was at the point of death. He lived in a place called Bethany. Many times, Jesus would go and stay with them in Bethany. So I'm certain they thought Jesus would drop whatever he's doing and come to Bethany to heal Lazarus. Well, Jesus waited a few more days before even thinking about leaving, and the word came to them that Lazarus had died. It really threw them off when he says, well, if he is asleep, that is good. He waited 2 days, and then in verse 14, he learns that Lazarus was dead. He makes his way to Bethany, and before he even gets there, Martha runs out, staggers out to him, and throws in his face, "If you had been here, my brother would not have died." She was not thinking about the coming resurrection. She wanted him to be raised from the dead. Martha accused Jesus. Martha was so upset that her brother had died, and she felt that if only Jesus had come, he would be alive. Well, guess what? Mary joined in the same thing, criticizing Jesus. And Jesus told them, Lazarus shall live again. You know, sometimes a person that knows a little Bible can be dangerous. She says, I know he shall be raised in the last day. But Jesus looked at her and said, I've been with you all this time, and you don't know who I am? You don't know who I am? I am the resurrection, and I am the life. What a beautiful story, and preachers really paint pictures of when Jesus came and wept, and he told them to remove the stone. Well, they said, don't remove the stone. Lazarus is probably stinking. But Jesus called forth Lazarus. Lazarus! I've heard preachers say that he didn't call him one time, he called him 3. But the scripture says he only called him one time. And he didn't say, come forth, because some believe that everybody would have been raised from the dead. Lazarus. And Lazarus came out bound in his grave clothes. And Jesus said, loose him and let him go. I want to share with you that life is precious. Most of us will only live to be 70 or 80 years old. That is short. And according to that range today, there are those of us that need to know that we will have everlasting life. Because Jesus was not raised from the dead, he was resurrected from the dead. And because he lives, we can face tomorrow. Because he lives, we have the privilege and the right to know that Jesus is our life. Jesus is our resurrection. No matter how down you go, how many deaths come in your family, no matter what happens, you can live through Jesus Christ here and in the hereafter. I am the resurrection and the life. Won't you believe in him?